Now we're going to go to the crippled man, and we're also going to see whether he displayed faith or not. You can imagine the state of this crippled man. He has been sitting at this temple gate for I do not know how long, but he had been sick from birth, crippled from birth, and we are told he was over 40 years old. So can you imagine somebody who for 40 years, over 40 years, they've not been able to walk. And then you're telling them, stand up and walk. How? Stand up and walk? So that means that this crippled man also must have had faith. So what did he do? He connected to Peter's faith. He did not know what faith was all about. He had never heard or probably seen somebody who was crippled from birth standing and walking. But Peter was so sure that Peter transferred some of his faith to this man. This crippled man must have said, "Sure, if this man believes that I can walk, he truly believes that I can walk." So he connected his faith to Peter's. And so as soon as Peter now takes him by the right hand, and he realized, this man actually believes that I can walk. So what did he do? Verse 8, he jumped to his feet. This is not Jesus. This is not Peter that is now pulling him up. We are told he himself, he jumped to his feet and began to walk. Who walked? Not Peter. This man had to do the walking. And so we see that he also displays a lot of faith. In James chapter 5, okay, and verse 14, we are told, "Is any one of you sick?" And now we are coming close to our own personal lives. "Is any of you sick?" This was now James telling the early church. He says he should call the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord. Who are the elders? The elders were today's pastors. And that is why Paul had told Titus, when I left you on the island of Crete, I left you there so that you can install elders in all the house churches. Okay? So here we are being told that if somebody is sick, they should just call the pastor to pray over them and anoint them with oil in the name of the Lord. Then in verse 15, and the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. It goes on to say the Lord will raise him up. Again, you see that who is it that is raising this person up? The Lord. In each case, faith causes God to do something. Even in this case, faith was this person asking the elder, the pastor, to come. Because you don't just ask your pastor to come if you don't believe you're going to get healed. You don't want to waste his time or waste her time, isn't it? So by the time you're calling a pastor to come to pray for you because you'll be healed, there is already faith in your heart. Okay? We are also told if he has sinned, he will be forgiven. Now, we need to understand that the early church met in homes. There probably were 15 people in a home, maybe at the most 20. So it would be easy for James to tell the pastor to come and pray for them. But you're going to a church where there's 2,000 people. Are you going to be calling the pastor to come and lay hands on you to pray for you, to anoint you with oil? No. It was possible for them in the early church. And that is why today we have to teach you how to be like that woman who's able to reach out to Jesus and touch the hem of his garment, not allowing anyone to come between you and Jesus, going directly, and we are seeing this woman receiving healing.